Hi, welcome to the 2013-14 Clark County School District Spelling Bee Finals. I'm your host, Nathan Tannenbaum, proud to be with you today with some incredible young people. The final bee is going to take place actually in 3 separate bees. We have one for the 8th grade, one for 7th, and one for 6th. And also the results from today, actually 2 students from each grade will advance to the Nevada State Spelling Bee. That's set for March 1st of 2014. All of today's spellers have really proven themselves at several levels of competition before reaching the championship. Back in September, they competed at their schools. They were named grade level champion at their respective middle or junior high schools. Then in early October, they squared off against the best from the performance zones within the Clark County School District, where the top 13 students spelled their way to the CCSD semifinal B. It was there that we got down to 7 students per grade, earning the right to move on to the finals that we're doing today. Before we get started and meet our judges, I think a round of applause is in order for all of our finalists. Great job. All right, let's go ahead and meet our judges who are helping with understanding whether the students spelled the words correctly, and we have a giant dictionary if we need it. First, let's meet Aaron Craner from the Clark County School Board of Trustees. Hi, Aaron. Thanks for being with us today. We also have Jen Odell, a one-time teacher who is now going to law school, so we have to trust her judgment. And we also have teacher Shay Foley from Clark High School. Hi, Shay. We want to thank all of our judges for taking the time to be with us today. We'd also like to go ahead and meet these bright young individuals. We're going to start again in the 8th grade, and let's go ahead and start with what we call an icebreaker. We have the student spellers come up, but we give them sort of an easy word just so they get used to stepping up to the microphone and understanding what it feels like. So let's meet Eric Chu, our first speller from Fest Middle School, an 8th grader whose favorite subject is science. Go ahead and step up there, Eric. Your icebreaker word is plate. Mom put the plate in front of me at dinner.
Plate. P-L-A-T-E. Plate.
Uh-huh. And then Judge Craner will hold up the green sign or the red sign indicating how you spelled the word, and that's correct. Thank you, Eric. Let's meet Colby Wilson, an 8th grader from Johnston Middle School. Favorite subject is history. Hey, Colby.
Hello.
Your icebreaker word is cup. Put the cup in the dishwasher.
Cup. C-U-P. Cup.
Whew, that was tough. You did fine. Thank you, Colby. Next up is Ethan Farrell. He's an 8th grader. Favorite subject is science. Hi, Ethan.
Hi, Nate.
Here is your practice, your icebreaker word, desk. I do my homework at my desk.
Desk. D-E-S-K. Desk.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Our next speller is Jacob Lee, an 8th grader from Escobedo. Favorite subject is music. Hey, Jacob.
Hi.
Here is your icebreaker word. It's table. Please set the table.
Table. T-A-B-L-E. Table.
That is correct. Thank you. And we have Ben Hand. He's an 8th grader from Hyde Park. Hi, Ben.
Hi again.
Here's your icebreaker word, spoon. I ate the dessert with my spoon.
Spoon. S-P-O-O-N. Spoon.
Yes, sir. You got the green card on that one. Thank you. And let's meet Andrew No from Schofield Middle School. Andrew's favorite subject is math. Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Here is your icebreaker word. It is door. Jack forgot to close the door behind him.
Door. D-O-O-R. Door.
And you get a green card. Thank you, Andrew. So those are our icebreaker words, and now it's time to begin the competition for real. We'll bring the students up and see how we do. First up from Fest, it's Eric Chu. Eric, here is your first word. It is contiguous. The United States of America has 48 contiguous states.
Contiguous. C-O-N-T-I-G-U-O-U-S. Contiguous.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Eric. Here now is Colby from Johnston. Colby, your first word is decelerate. Drivers should decelerate as soon as they see a yellow traffic light.
Decelerate. D-E-C-E-L-E-R-A-T-E. Decelerate.
Yes, thanks, Colby. Here is Ethan from Lawrence. Ethan, your first word is quarantine. Upon entering the United States, the foreign ship was put into quarantine.
Quarantine. Q-U-A-R-A-N-T I-N-E. Quarantine.
That is correct. Thanks, Ethan. Here's Jacob Lee from Escobedo making his way up to the microphone. Jacob, your first word is caustic. Battery acid is highly caustic.
Caustic. C-A-U-S-T-I-C. Caustic.
And that's correct. Thanks, Jacob. Here is Ben Hand from Hyde Park. Ben, your first word is apparatus. Because she was wearing her breathing apparatus, Jen enjoyed the dive.
Apparatus. A-P-P-A-R-A-T-U-S. Apparatus.
Yes, thanks, Ben. And we wrap up our first round with Andrew No from Schofield. Andrew, your first word is leisurely. Every Sunday, our family takes a leisurely drive up to Mount Charleston.
Leisurely. L-E-I-S-U-R-E-L-Y. Leisurely.
And that's correct. So we've completed one round. We have all of our spellers. We go back to the beginning and we bring back Eric from Fess for his next word, which is chronicles. Although a fiction story, The Lord of the Rings could be a chronicles of a time past.
Can you please repeat the word?
Yes, chronicles.
Chronicles. C-H-R-O-N-I-C-L-E-S. Chronicles.
Yes, thanks, Eric. Here is Colby Wilson from Johnston with your next word, unconscious. In the movie, the warrior was struck unconscious.
Unconscious. U-N-C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S. Unconscious.
Yes. Good job, Colby. That brings us to Ethan Farrell from Lawrence. And your word, Ethan, is itinerant. Our school has an itinerant speech therapist who visits our school on Tuesdays.
Itinerant. I-T-I-N-E-R-A-N-T. Itinerant.
Yes. Thanks, Ethan. Here's Jacob Lee from Escobedo. Jacob, your next word is elitist. Five-star hotels cater only to an elitist segment of the traveling population.
Elitist. E-L-I-T-I-S-T. Elitist.
Yes. All right, here's Ben Hand from Hyde Park. Ben, your word is judicious. The careful and judicious driver exercised his skills in the rain.
Judicious. J-U-D-I-C-I-O-U-S. Judicious.
Yes. Good job, Ben. Here's Andrew. Andrew, your word is hieroglyphics. Ancient Egyptians wrote on cave walls using hieroglyphics instead of words and sentences.
Hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics.
Yes. All right, good job. We're back to the beginning. We've completed 2 rounds and we have all of our spellers. Let's bring Eric back up. And Eric, your word is vehement. As the man spoke, his vehement passion could be seen by the display of sweat on his brow.
Could you please give the definition?
Yes, vehement. Expressive of strong emotion or conviction. Impassioned. Vehement.
Vehement. V-E-H-E-M-E-N-T. Vehement.
Yes. So that brings us back to Colby. Colby, your next word is obnoxious. Johnny was very obnoxious at the restaurant.
Obnoxious. O-B-N-O-X-I-O-U-S. Obnoxious.
Yes. All right, here's Ethan coming back to the microphone. Your word, Ethan, is confer. The lawyers needed to confer with their client.
Confer. C-O-N-F-E-R. Confer.
That's correct. That brings us back to Jacob from Escobedo. Jacob, here's your word. Stoic. Most students can be considered stoic learners.
Stoic. S-T-O-I-C. Stoic.
Yes. Here's Ben. Ben, your word is raucous. Some days the cafeteria can sound raucous with 500 kids.
Definition?
Yes, raucous. Boisterously disorderly. Raucous.
Raucous. R-A-U-C-U-O-U-S. Raucous.
Ben, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Raucous is R-A-U-C-O-U-S. Thanks, Ben. That brings us to Andrew from Schofield. Andrew, your word is leavenless. Celebrating Hanukkah requires leavenless bread.
Leavenless. Leavenless. Leavenless.
That is correct. Thanks, Andrew. So we begin another round. We have 5 spellers, and we bring back Eric. Eric, your word is salutatorian. The salutatorian spoke just after the keynote speaker at the graduation.
Please give the definition.
Salutatorian, the graduating student who is usually second highest in rank. Salutatorian.
Salutatorian. S-A-L-U-T-A-T-O-R-I-A-N. Salutatorian.
Yes. Thanks, Eric. Colby, here's your next word. It is winkle. The sheriff felt the deputy was attempting to winkle him out of his position.
Winkle. W-I-N-K-L-E. Winkle.
That's correct. Good job. Here comes Ethan again for another word. Ethan, your word is cruller. Olive couldn't decide whether to order a cruller or an eclair with her coffee.
Cruller. C-R-U-L-L-E-R. Cruller.
And that's correct. Thanks, Ethan. Let's say hello to Jacob again with his next word, anomaly. The new boss vowed to correct the anomaly of people doing similar jobs but being paid different amounts.
Are there any different pronunciations?
There are none. Anomaly.
Definition, please.
That is, anomaly, the state or fact of being out of place, out of true, or out of normal position.
Okay.
Anomaly.
A-N-A-M-O-L-Y. Anomaly.
That's incorrect, Jacob. Anomaly is A-N-O-M-A-L-Y. Thanks, Jacob. That brings us to Andrew from Schofield with his next word, desegmentation. The worm underwent desegmentation in order to grow new parts.
Desegmentation. D-E-S-E-G-M-E-N-T-A-T-I-O-N. Desegmentation.
And that's correct. All right, we have 4 spellers left in our next round, which begins with Eric Chu's next word. And Eric, your word is reciprocity. Do we have a certain biological reciprocity with plants?
What's the definition?
Reciprocity, a mutual exchange of trade or privileges. Reciprocity.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
There are none. Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. R-E-C-I-P-O-R-O-S-I-T-Y. Reciprocity.
Eric, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Reciprocity is R-E-C-I-P-R-O-C-I-T-Y. We're having Colby step up to the microphone again from Johnston Middle School. Colby, your word is unequivocally. David's parents unequivocally forbid him to leave the house.
Unequivocally. UNEQUIVOCALLY. Unequivocally.
That's correct. Good job, Colby. Ethan is next. Hi, Ethan. Here's your word. Dereliction. The Marine was charged with dereliction of duty for leaving his post.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
There are none. Dereliction.
What's the definition?
Dereliction, an intentional abandonment. Dereliction.
Dereliction. DERILICTION. Dereliction.
Ethan, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Dereliction is DERELICTION. Thanks, Ethan. Let's bring up Andrew from Schofield. Andrew, here's your word. It is synagogue. The synagogue was recently placed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Synagogue. SYNAGOGUE. Synagogue.
That is correct. So we are down to our final two spellers. That brings us to a round after round competition. So Andrew, just go ahead and step up to the microphone, just kind of right behind Colby there, because we're just going to find out who our champion is going to be and who our alternate is going to be for the 8th grade. Colby, here is your next word. It is laud. The teacher chose to laud the students with praise.
What is the definition?
Laud, to sing the praises of. Laud.
Laud. LAUD. Laud.
That's correct. So just step to the side and Andrew will step up for his next word, which is dilapidated. The ghost town was full of dilapidated buildings.
Dilapidated. DILAPIDATED. Dilapidated.
Yes, sir. So we've got our two spellers going at it. Here's Colby with his next word, which is armoire. The oak armoire looked lovely standing in the corner.
Armoire. ARMOIRE. Armoire.
Yes. Thanks, Colby. So, Andrew, your next word is appellate. The appellate court decided to reject the judge's finding and start a new case.
Could I have a definition?
Yes, appellate, having the power to review and affirm, reverse, or modify the judgment or decision of another tribunal. Appellate.
And could I have the language of origin, please?
Latin.
Appellate. APELLAT. Appellate.
Andrew, that's incorrect. Appellate is APPELLATE. So I believe that Colby is going to be our 8th grade champion and Andrew will be our alternate. Congratulations, gentlemen. That's great. And we'll be back with our 7th grade spellers in just a moment. And welcome back as we continue with the Clark County School District Spelling Bee Finals. It is time for our 7th graders. As we did with our 8th graders, we're going to bring each student up one at a time and give them sort of an easy word, what we call an icebreaker word to meet the student, give them the experience of walking up to the microphone. We start with Kelsey Anderson from Robinson Middle School. Hi, Kelsey. Here, let's see, it says your favorite subject is art. And Kelsey, your icebreaker word is ice. I filled my cup with ice and orange juice.
Ice. ICE. Ice.
And you got the green card. Yes, that was easy. Good job. Thank you, Kelsey. Next speller is Tyler Tressler from Hyde Park Middle School. Hi, Tyler. Favorite subject is English and band. Your icebreaker word, Tyler, is plant. We'll plant the tomatoes in the spring.
Plant. P-L-A-N-T. Plant.
Boom. Thank you, Tyler. Here's Allie Beasley from Del Webb. Hi, Allie.
Hi.
Favorite subject says here is math. Here is your icebreaker word. It's water. Drinking enough water prevents dehydration.
Water. W-A-T-E-R. Water.
Yes, ma'am, just like that. Here's Nathan Campbell from Garrett. Hi, Nathan.
Hello.
Your favorite subject says here is U.S. history. Excellent. Here's your icebreaker word. It is soda. I like to drink soda with my pizza.
Soda. S-O-D-A. Soda.
Just like that. You got it, Nathan. Here is Saruthi Srinivas from Bob Miller. Hi, Saruthi.
Hi.
You like math, and I hope you like your icebreaker word. It is rice. Somebody overcooked my rice.
Rice. R-I-C-E. Rice.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Here's Natalie Gutierrez. Hi, Natalie. Seventh grader at Lawrence Middle School. Favorite subjects, reading and science. Here's your icebreaker word. It is cream. I enjoy whipped cream on my